Welcome back to the channel, guys. We're out at the new greenhouse build. So it isn't much right now. I pulled the tiller out. It is like almost 90 degrees, like 85, 87, something like that. And the humidity is going up and we have absolute haze everywhere. You can't really tell, but if you look in the distance, we have a ton of haze from all of the Canadian fires pushing down in the jet stream. Very poor air quality from all of the fires, so it's really crazy to see it all the way down here. So hopefully we don't have any long-term effects from this, trying to stay inside, but we have a lot of work to do outside. As I was saying, we are at our new greenhouse build. So trying to till up and break ground is impossible when it is so hot. We haven't had but a quarter inch of rain possibly in the last 2 months or so. I wanted to show that down at this little rock, we had spray painted an X here and it goes down 30 feet. So we are going to have an old recycled trampoline that me and my kids had broken, taken apart. So we're gonna get another trampoline to jump on. We are going to use the old one to build about a 10-foot by 13-foot, 13.5-foot trampoline greenhouse. And that is going to be a great frame to start with. We have a whole bunch of metal pieces from the legs and everything. So we got that trampoline free. So that is one free resource that we acquired. And the whole thoughts behind the new greenhouse is we need a tree perennial greenhouse. So the whole purpose of me coming out and filming this video today, hopefully the thumbnail got you here. We wanted to talk about perennials and planting annuals. We are always planting annuals in the summertime, and in the spring or possibly in the fall you'll be planting a perennial or two, but we are always planting. We are constantly planting and constantly harvesting, and we're constantly planting annuals, having many rounds. You can see thousands of tomatoes in here, some for sale, some for us, and we are still planting. It is not too late. Summer's in full swing, but with all this dry weather, it's been very hard to plant. So we're having to top dress everything, and we're having to water, and we're having to take extra special care of some less drought tolerant plants. So we're kind of finding what works and what doesn't. We haven't had anything really die on us. All of our perennials, we've got thousands of perennials we're always planting out, and we're getting ourselves a secure food source while creating the permaculture nursery that I'm actually aspiring to create. So we're always planting tons of perennials, and I really wanted to touch on that because we're having continual food harvests throughout the season, and we're having good harvests that we can save all of our Jerusalem artichokes and stuff like that. We're able to save all those perennials and along with our annual crops. So it's pretty darn easy to secure a good food source if you have the amount of space it takes to actually grow all that stuff. So we're trying to actually get into a perennial nursery in our area, and we've been doing really well at our local farmers market. So we're looking to start a legitimate business and run that from our homestead here and continually produce plants, possibly even into winter if we build a nice solid frame greenhouse, which that is the next greenhouse coming. This another hoop house we're going to build is, like I said, just for trees and perennials, and we're going to plant all of our tree seeds in there and just let them do the winter in the greenhouse so we can have an early start, and we can possibly start selling all of our Asian pears, Bartlett pears, all of our Nanking cherries, regular cherries, Bing cherries, yellow delicious apples, red delicious, Jonathan apples. There is all types of stuff, hickasap honeyberries, gooseberries, currants, peaches, all types of stuff that we're trying to grow and produce enough that we could have a steady market and to get everybody's food forests a great chance and get them started when you should. Now, not in 5-10 years. You want to plant everything you possibly can anytime you can, because that will continually grow, and before you know it, 3 or 4 years down the road, you planted a tree from seed and now you've got fruit from it. 3-4 years. We've gotten several of our apple trees that are 3-4 years old that my son planted from seed in the same exact way, and they are fruiting for us. So they are coming faster than the plants we buy from a box store. So that really tells you something. That tells you that planting it the natural way is a much more successful method. So jumping back on topic, I hope everybody's gardens are doing great, and I want to see everybody planting perennials with their annual crops, not in the same spot always, but if you can plant and you can afford the space or afford the plants, would definitely be putting a food security source on my property anywhere I possibly can. We are constantly plugging holes and putting all of our perennials in the ground that we possibly can. We grow about half of the perennials for our market. We grow about half the perennials for our own selves to expand what we're doing, expanding on everything. You can see all of our market garden. You can see all of our transition. We've got this actual trellis built. We're going to make this a permaculture style trellis. We will have some beans on the front, but we're going to be doing some other vining perennial crops, possibly grapes and stuff like that. And we've just kind of been plugging any hole with annual crops also. Now this is a big old rocky wood chip patch. Now I tilled all these wood chips in after so much time because it was really negatively impacting our tomato area. So looking out into this little area here, we are constantly planting different things. I'm always using this space for whatever I see fit, whatever's extra. So I have tons of apple trees and little cuttings and aronia berries, and I've got lots of strawberries, a whole row of sunflowers that are gonna come up to give our strawberries a little bit of shade. We've got Asian pears, elderberries, and a whole bunch of blackberries. We've got a persimmon tree and some Shasta berries. We've got a little bit of everything going on. Now, even right above me here, the sun's starting to peek through the clouds. We've got lots of apples, really beautiful apples there. And this is a Golden Delicious tree. We've got another Golden Delicious or two planted in the garden. So we're always planting perennials and we're always planting annuals. I will say it and say it again. Everybody who's planting should be planting both, not just one or the other. You want to give yourself a good, diverse food source. Growing in our summer season here, we only have maybe 3 months to really produce a bunch of stuff. So getting everything in and getting it all going is a very tedious task in the summer and springtime. So having all of the perennial stuff that just does its own thing, this huge tree full of apples, huge trees full of pears, peaches, we don't have to do anything. Literally come by and harvest. We plant all of our comfrey down below them and feed them. We come through and top dress with all of our Jean Pain compost heater on the backside of our greenhouse. So we have a absolute ton of free food for all of these trees. So I really wanted to reiterate that everybody should be putting some long-term sources of food, long-term plants, something that's going to come back and feed you for years to come. Now I really look forward to the next greenhouse build and I'm super excited to get it underway. I just got to wait for some rain or I have to go water the ground. It is like a rock. We have hard clay soil, so getting things done with this drought right now is very hard. We've been working extra hard trying to get everything planted, trying to build new stuff, acquire new material, trying to get our business going for our permaculture nursery, and we're trying to expand. So I'd really like to thank everybody who follows along, and if you're a local person, come say hi to us at the farmers market. And if you are a long-term follower, subscriber, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I just want to thank everybody for watching. This has been a very awesome journey and we are really seeing some results from all of the hard work we've put in over the last few years.